Good afternoon, everyone. It's your boy Shad Talks Graps, and we are back for another installment of the Wrestling Republic daily broadcast. It's Tuesday. You already know what that means, man. We're here to review Monday Night Raw, and we are here for the Road to Survivor Series War Games. This was a show that a lot of people had criticism towards because it was pre-taped, and y'all, for some reason, don't like fresh food. Y'all like spoiled food and was reading the spoilers. But I think after watching it, some stuff has been silent. So I'm definitely excited to talk about it with y'all. I gotta first and foremost, man, go to our panel today, man. We got the regular crew. First and foremost, the head of the table, my dog Chaos. How you doing, bro?
What's good? What's good? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit nostalgic today. I'm wearing my John Cena shirt. And yeah, we're here to talk about Monday Night Raw. And yeah, I agree. A lot of people don't like hate tape shows, but the good thing about it is not everything is usually shown on the tape show. Like there was some interesting I don't think there was certain segments that I don't think they actually showed to the live crowd at the time. So anyway, I'm here for it. And yeah, quick announcement as well. If you guys don't know, the latest episode of Take It to the Table is out. It's a debate episode which involves Shad and Megan as well, and they are obviously debating about, is Becky Lynch really the greatest of all time? It's very spicy. There's been a couple of reels that's been put up, and yeah, it's been a very hot debate. So yeah, be sure to join into the conversation. But yeah, other than that, let's talk about Monday Night Raw.
For sure. And I do want to say something real quick in regards to that. Because I know one of the reels, a lot of people in the comments are going crazy towards Megan's take. Y'all could just shut up. Like, respectfully. She didn't condone the fabulous moolah for stuff that y'all was saying. I read every comment. I've been fighting in the comments with some of y'all too. If y'all that stupid and y'all can't read between the lines of what a take is and what we're talking about, just shut up. That's all. Last but not least, we got someone else in the building, man. The person that has yet to cash in his contract, Jordy in the bank. How long you got that briefcase for, man?
I told you guys a fair bit ago what's actually in that briefcase, and it's my wedding contract. So I won't be cashing that in anytime soon. I'll have you know. I thought I got given a contract. I'm a wrestling fan. I have a Money in the Bank briefcase. I was like, well, it seems only right that this should go in here. But no, yeah, that was just a little sidebar. But no, I'm good, man. Raw was good last night. I agree. You know, like, I don't have that much of an issue with taped episodes. The issue is with people spoiling the taped episodes. That is where the problem lies. Because, like, aside from the people that are there that get, yeah, they get double for what they pay, essentially. They get 2 episodes of Raw, so you're not going to complain at that. You have to kind of stay quiet for a week. That's all you have to do. But I understand we live in a world where, you know, people want the clicks, people want the likes, so you get the spoilers. But I actually did my best to avoid them for the longest time. There was only like one thing that I saw. So yeah, just block the people that are spoiling them, guys. That's what I do. But yeah, on with the show, because it was a belter. It was a belter.
For sure. And I think, oh man, I think someone got a belt with him right now.
You know it's better not to cash in, because you know you ain't gonna get a chance on this, man. I've been at gym earlier, so yeah, you know you ain't gonna get any of this. That's all I wanted to say. But yeah,
oh man, first of man, we got comments already in the building, man. Number 1 Superfly saying hello. What's going on, man? How are you today? Thank you for watching. Of course, like always, we got the homie DC Warlord. I just want to hear William Regal Saturday say War Games one more time. Sean Ellis, I am not going to put your comment because that is super rude. And I can say all 3 of us would say we highly disagree with you on that. Rhea Ripley don't need no plastic nose guard at all. She looks absolutely amazing with or without it. So stop being a hater. once again, my friend. But thank you for watching the show with us too, and keep commenting as well. Of course, I will put a comment out there. But speaking of Rhea Ripley, we are going to talk about the first segment, and we're also going to talk about War Games because there's a bit of development happening, and we got our first War Games match fully announced, 5 versus 5. We had the heel team, Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae, all in the building, all talking about a common enemy that they have, and that is our tag team champions, Jade and Bianca. Naomi falls into it, and Io falls into it because everyone is feuding with everyone. Naomi had the match with Nia Jax on Friday. Io Sky got a number 1 contender match against Liv Morgan. And Jade and Bianca, everybody wants wreck with them. But, you know, I don't do Steiner math. I do regular math. And it seemed like the babyface team that had 1, had 2. They only had 4 people. 4 people. They needed a 5th. And who was the 5th person? A returning Rhea Bloody Ripley back from an orbital bone injury on her nose, looking like prime Rip Hamilton, looking like undashing Cody Rhodes, popping out. And all she says is, War Games, headbutts. And we got our match set, man. We got Liv. We got the 5 women I mentioned. Liv, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, Tiffany Stratton, and Raquel Rodriguez versus Jade, Bianca, Naomi, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley. I'll say this before I definitely want to know y'all's opinion on this. I'm not too keen on the build-up that much. I do feel like it is a little bit of randomized booking in a sense where we kind of rushed into it. I won't say it's super random because, like I said earlier, everyone's kind of tied to everyone, right? But I just look at the roster of the women on the 10 that they picked, and I'm invested, man. I'm invested. You got some women that could really wrestle, some big-time superstars, and that babyface team looks like an all-star team lineup. Those 5 women are a dominant force, so it should be interesting. But I want to know, first and foremost, Jordy, what are your thoughts on last night's segment and then everything leading on to the War Games?
I have to say, obviously, well, everyone knows if you've been watching the show for longer than a week that I'm a huge Rhea Ripley fan, so it was great to see her back. I thought it was going to be longer, and I think I agree. I mean, it can be said for the men's in a sense as well. The build-up to War Games is maybe left somewhat to be desired, but when you see the lineup, I mean, everyone on the women's roster that's holding gold is in that match, including the Speed champion. So literally everyone that is holding some form of belt is in that match. So, like, you can't not be excited to watch it. And I think Rhea coming back, obviously having the Rhea and Liv thing, that maybe is what's just swayed me and been like, all right, and almost made me not care that the build-up hasn't been great because Rhea and Liv really makes sense in this match. So we're going to get some form of progression. Again, we've got a situation where Tiffany is in the ring with 2 champions. I mean, more than 2, I guess. I don't think she's going to cash it in for the Speed Championship or the tag team. Although that would be funny. Imagine if she tagged it in on Jade or Bianca and then Tiffy and Bianca ended up champions or something. But I think there's an opportunity there. So, yeah, I'm excited to see it. Gonna see what Io's going to do with the trash can, as always. But I guess maybe there is an argument against having all the women that are holding gold within the same match because, I mean, in terms of opportunity and stuff like that, and kind of the opportunity would have been there to hopefully be able to build a good 5 versus 5 feud without using all the champions because of the amount of factions that are forming in the women's roster, but it's not happened. We've got what we've got, and I think when you look at that poster of all 10 of them, you can't not be excited and assume, and I'm pretty confident that they're going to put on an absolute banger of a match with some long-term story progression as well, whether it be Tiffy, whether it be, I'm pretty sure Rhea and Liv is going to progress, but yeah, so I'm all for it now.
You know, and here's my thing, right? I've seen the criticism in regards to people saying that, why are all the champions in one match? Y'all got to think about it like this, too. This is Survivor Series War Games. These are one of these gimmick pay-per-views where you have a major stipulation match tied to it. For the greater good and how we have developed the match, I think it's better to have 10 of the best women on, the rosters going at it than, forcing it or whatever it may be. Like, I guess you can try to find ebbs and flows to work it out. But like you said, Liv, Nia aligning, it makes sense because they are the heel champions and the common enemy is Jade, Bianca, Rhea Ripley, all of that. So I don't have an issue with it as much as others do, but it's neither here nor there. I guess it's a legitimate argument to make. We got some comments pouring on this topic. We got I Make Beats saying, I like all the women in the War Games match, but it is all thrown together. We got a stack lineup, so it should be good either way. I think I kind of am on that, and I may have, fall into just the fact that it's such a star-studded event where I don't care as much. But I get it. I respect it. Numero one saying that although I am a bit critical over the women's War Games being developed, I enjoyed seeing Rhea Ripley return and taking action. Like one person said, enough talk, let's fight. It's going to get physical. It's definitely going to get physical. I Made Beaks also said Mass Rhea is goated. True that. And then Andy Nguyen saying Trish Stratus and Cody Rhodes type of mask. Good callback on the Trish stuff. I forgot about that. So, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. I want to know also for you, Chaos, what are your thoughts just with everything being built up on it and last night's segment as well?
Yeah, I'm pretty much share the same sentiment as everyone else in terms of that it's been poorly booked in terms of the build up for it. But I think that's obviously that's WWE's fault. They have the roster as is evidenced, and but it just didn't give it enough time for it to cook, as they have been cooking this Bloodline saga for over 4 years. So they definitely have the capabilities of doing like some type of storytelling in that part. But for what it is, it's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be, I want it to separate itself from the men's War Games in terms of obviously with most War Games matches, they're kind of known for being almost like spot fests, if you will. Whereas obviously with the Bloodline match, I think there's going to be more of a story being told, and I want to see bloodshed. I want to see just absolute physicality. With this one, I think that this is where you're going to get the spot fests and the moments in this one. I think that's where they can obviously stand out. I don't think it's going to be physical or anything like that. I think they're saving that for more when Rhea does finally get her hands on Liv one-on-one and finally reclaim that title whenever that may be. But yeah, no, it was a fun segment, and it did what it needed to do. That's what we care about. So yeah, I agree. The build up for it was not great. Really pretty much just like a smash patty, and then just because if you didn't do it, then people will complain. And obviously, you give it to them, people are complaining that it's underdeveloped. So it was a lose-lose situation. But either way, it's WWE's fault. So I'm here for it. Should be a good opener. Open up the match, open up the show with it. And yeah, that's what I can say about that. Let's bring on the women's War Games match.
For sure. I will say this. If there's one person that needs to really shine in this match, it is a Miss Candice LeRae. It seems like they've been booking her more evident. She's got a prominent role in the storyline on SmackDown, kind of being Nia's, I could be your sidekick better than you, Tiffany type of character. I think she fits that better than Tiffany as a sidekick as well, because she's got a bit more of a conniving heel personality. And it's just kind of like, I don't want to call her in any names or whatever, but she's kind of got like a condescending B-word like personality in a sense, and like she could really be like a mean girl to you type of situation. So I'm excited to see what she does, and she's also, this is in her realm, so I'm excited for her to kind of develop and go into that. Yeah. got a couple more comments, and then we'll get to this next topic. He said, when are we gonna get a masked women's wrestler that isn't in the Y6? Funny enough, a member of the Y6 had a masked character before she was in the Y6. Nikki Ash.
Oh God. I remember doing a video
You're
on
not
that.
wrong.
Oh gosh, oh God, yeah. That was fun. And became champion doing that as well. Yeah, what a different time that was. Jesus Christ.
She won her briefcase too, Jordy. Ain't forget that. We also got McBeat saying EO's trash can moonsault gonna happen for sure. That's evident. That it has to happen, right?
I don't think it's a moonsault. It's probably a crossbody, but yeah.
Crossbody, yeah. And I don't know about moonsault. That's a little kind of crazy, actually. Yeah. That's kind of really dangerous. Yeah. Don't do that.
And it's kind of stupid. What's the point?
Yeah. Interesting right here, right? DC Warlord saying, I would have rather seen the NXT women's have a war game match. I actually agree. Especially what they had last week with that 5-on-5 match. I think that could have been really better suited in a war games match. So,
better yet, like NXT's women's locker room against the main roster's best.
Main roster. Let's do that. That would have been fire.
Yeah, because you've got a storyline there as well. Because you can be like they could genuinely be like, we think we're the best women's roster in WWE. You know.
There you go.
So I'm gonna be honest with y'all for a quick second, and then we'll get to the next topic. I don't disagree with the standpoint that I feel like Triple H is pushing the War Games into Survivor Series a little too much now. Where I feel like you don't need it. I feel like it does become that. And to what you just said earlier, Chaos, that's kind of where it's hard for somebody to cook, because there is a lot of heads to put into a storyline, and that takes a lot of time from it. So maybe they can pivot a different style match or whatever it may be.
I think until Rhea came back. I think we're about to say the same thing. I think until Rhea came back, the women's match could have just been an old school Survivor Series 5 versus 5 tag match. It didn't really have that beef to be like, it's War Games. Now Rhea coming back, it has got that bit of bad blood there, so it kind of warrants a War Games match now. But until that point, I think I would have rather have just seen an old school Survivor Series 5 versus 5.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I miss those.
I do too, man. If you book it well enough, it makes sense. Like the NXT Survivor Series was, when they added that was some so different, so dope. We'll see what happens.
They won, didn't
they? Mm-hmm. That's
didn't do nothing with it afterwards. What an absolute it's ridiculous.
And take advantage of it now, man. NXT is hot like it was that year with Black and Gold. Like they've kind of especially with the whip. Like now that we're talking about it more, the option of having the women's with it does seems a little of a missed opportunity, because what's the common thing that everybody online says? NXT got the best women's division in professional wrestling. Bet. Do that. You got freaking Julia and Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne
have an almost
Perez.
Like Nexus-like invasion, and have 5 of them running on a women's championship match and just wreak havoc and just be like, we're the best. Come and fight us, you know.
Y'all could have what they could have done in a sense, they could have just kept Nia off it or whatever, or Liv, whatever it may be, right? And kept the 5 on the babyface side, right? The ones that the super team, and then go against the super team on NXT, and then let Nia have a match, a singles match or something. So we're not bookers, though. Unfortunately, they don't pay us to do that. We just talk about it. So
the bookers.
I'm not Booker T, man. Man, but yeah, no, it's definitely going to be interesting, man. But let's get to the next topic, because I'm excited about this as well. We got, where is the? Did it go missing? Do you see it? Do you see it on your end? We'll talk about it. Oh no, I see it now. It went hidden for a second. That's why. Anyways, my bad about that. We gotta talk about the Intercontinental title picture for a brief second. Because Braun Breaker, Sheamus had a incredible match last night. If y'all don't know, Sheamus, that's the last belt he got to win before he says he conquers it all. It always seemed like he comes up short in the situation. But last night, he didn't come up short in defeat. He came up short because of a rival, somebody who's bowed to take away anything from him, Mr. Ludwig Kaiser. But Ludwig didn't only take away Sheamus's opportunity, he took out Braun Breaker as well. This was interesting. Ludwig showed a lot of development as a singles character last night to me doing that. He's got like some sort of point to prove to Gunther, so I'm super hyped to see this possibly could be a triple threat match. But Chaos, what are your thoughts in regards to it? Like, are you mad that we end up in a DQ finish, or are you excited and everything with Ludwig in the picture as well?
No, to be fair, I was not surprised that they were gonna do it. I think they're keeping the eventual IC title win for Sheamus. They wanted to save it for a big moment. Whether it's at Mania, I don't know, but clearly they have it in mind. The commentators was constantly saying about it. He's Sheamus himself, so they are making it into an arc. Obviously, this is another one of Triple H's long-term story bookings. Whether it's going to be good or not, obviously it's ongoing, so we'll obviously look back at it in the future. But yeah, I feel like he will eventually reclaim it. I think that's what he's gonna. I think what they're building it up to is that once Sheamus wins it, I think that's when he's gonna sunset his career. I feel this is obviously his next objective. If honestly his final objective. He has nothing else to prove once he wins the IC title. So I feel like once he eventually gets it, I think that's when he's gonna be saying I'm good. The match itself was incredible. In the words of Big E, big meaty man slapping meat. You know what I mean? It was a great match. And beautiful counters from Sheamus. Braun Breaker brought it to Sheamus. Yeah, he needed this match because ever since Braun Breaker reclaimed the title, it's kind of been an afterthought. He's not really been in the forefront like he was with the first reign. So yeah, he needed this. He's got some momentum. I don't think he's gonna turn face because Ludwig Kaiser, attacked him. But yeah, I feel like for after what Gunther said to Ludwig, that you need to prove yourself. You're on your own now. Be your own man. The only way to do it is obviously force yourself into a situation, and that's what he's doing. So yeah, if Braun Breaker really thinks he's the badass, he should be logically thinking, I don't want to just take out Sheamus. I want to take out this Ludwig Kaiser guy because this guy's going to take my spot. So yeah, kill two birds with one stone. Whether is that going to be happening at Survivor Series? I don't know, but they need to book it because they only got 1 week left. But yeah, I'm here for it. Loved it. I think all three of them could create some magic. Yeah, it's Ludwig Kaiser's time. That's what I know. So yeah, let's see where it goes. All in all, loved it.
For sure. And I definitely agree. I would definitely put that on the Survivor Series pay-per-view. They don't got that many matches like booked, I feel. Like there's probably like 3 if I'm not tripping, right? Like there's like 3 matches booked for it.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's gonna be 4 matches because I think the War Games match is gonna be like almost like an hour each. Well, especially the men's one. That's gonna be an hour each. And then yeah, like so I think we're gonna get the 5-6 matches. That's what I'm saying. So it's gonna take a huge chunk.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get a couple comments in real quick before we do our ad break. Numero 1 had a really good one that I wanted to talk about. Unless Ludwig Kaiser is gonna enter the feud to win the IC title, which would be very interesting, Ludwig should have distracted Sheamus and allowed Braun to pin him to win. I think it's tied to him winning some gold, man. I don't think it's a bigger message in that he took out Breaker first. Let's also say that, right? He came out and clotheslined him first. So he had a point to prove on both of them. It wasn't just taking out Sheamus first. He wants IC gold, and we broke up Imperium, right? I got my search warrants for where Giovanni Vinci is. I don't know where he is anymore on TV. but we broke him
He's on
up,
speed.
and he's poor guy. Anyways, he's
Elon's
on
got
us. He's on Soul's favorite WWE show. Joking. But you did this. I think they saw the light for Ludwig to be a single star. So this is the first way to kind of do that. So I'm not mad at it. And then I agree with this match slap. Ludwig is great too on the mic as well. Triple threat should be a banger. Braun is a beast, but I do want Sheamus to win gold. I just what you said earlier, dude. I think that's what the case is. I think when we get to the end of when Sheamus is about to retire, I think that is when he's going to win the IC title. Hold it.
He's going to win it off
while.
Cena. That's what's going to happen. He's going to win it off John Cena on his.
All right, this is a two-man show now.
Oh my god!
I made it. That was a good fair bit into the show. What, we're 25 minutes in. That's pretty good. That's good.
Yeah,
that's a
man.
record.
Nah, I'm messing around, man. Yeah, I'm against the John Cena crew today. But what I'm not against is our sponsors, and that is the good people at Progress Wrestling. Look, man, if you use the code Watch Progress, you get 50% off your first month on the Demand Progress, the home of Progress, Defy, and many, many more. Y'all, man, I always say this on the Aries, but I mean it. They are dropping straight heat all the time. They have an extensive library of some of your favorite professional wrestlers from across the pond, the states, all of that. But the current iteration of roster that they have now are absolutely killing it. If you haven't already watched the interview Sunday Spotlight with Ethan Allen, he just had a big-time tag team match last week, and they got a big-time pay-per-view coming up soon. So be on the lookout. I think they got Leon Slater versus Luke Jacobs coming up. Yeah, y'all not going to miss that, man. So support Progress. Support us. Let's get back to the show because we got to talk about something, and I got to do this real quick, man. Karrion Kross, I apologize. I underestimated your ball, your hooping, bro. I underestimated your hooping. You have me invested, and not only do you have me invested, you have me rooting for the Final Testament. Because if you would have told me that The Miz and Final Testament would be the recipe for success, I don't know if I would have believed you a few months ago. But how we got here, how we're building to this feud against the Wyatts, this is way more interesting than the Gable stuff. Way more interesting than the feud against American Made. It's the fact that it's a Dark Lord versus a Dark Lord type of team. But Karrion Kross is doing some amazing stuff. And salute to the bro because he followed me back on Twitter as well. But like I'm saying that on some real stuff. Dude is putting in a lot of good stuff in regards to his character and how he's got me invested into it. And they are now being bought stock-wise by me. I am a Final Testament fan. I'm going to have to talk to AOP to, coach him up a little bit, right? I kind of look like I could be the third, smaller member of them. But all in all,
you'll be there a long time, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there a long time, man. But I like the stuff with the Miz, and I'm interested to see what you got to say, Jordy, because you might tell me I am out of my mind.
No, I completely agree, mate. Which is rare for me and you, but here we are. I don't know if back when you had certain words to say about the Final Testament, and I was laughing along, but I think we all shared a common ground that we all thought Cross could do better, and I think that was almost part of the annoyance of it. It was like, why isn't this guy being used correctly? And we almost couldn't put our finger on what it was that was missing. Like you, I didn't think that thing would have been the Miz, but the chemistry that them two had on that little vignette, the little video package last night, I want to see more of that. They were making me laugh, but I also, it's interesting, like you said, it's like Dark Power against Dark Power. Karrion Kross, I fully believe that he is not scared of Uncle Howdy, whereas like everyone else that has gone, that the Wyatts have gone after up until this point. I mean, Gable said he wasn't scared, but I mean, we all could see that he clearly was. Miz was terrified, but I fully buy into the fact that Cross isn't faced by them, and he's like, "Yeah, I hold the cards. Like, I'm not bothered. Like, come at me, and you'll see what we've got." And yeah, I don't know who's the heel. I don't know who's the face in this. I really don't know. But then the Cross side of it, the video package that from the Wyatts, where I'm pretty sure I'm not on my own, where other people mentioned it in the group chat. I had to double take for a second, and I thought it was Bray, because the way that he was delivering them lines, obviously the appearance as well, but the way that he was delivering them lines with such like nuance, and I was glued to the screen in the same way that I used to be when Bray would cut a promo, and it was just great to have that. So yeah, I don't know whose side I'm on, because I genuinely think both sides are doing great work, but I don't care whose side I'm on, because I think that we're gonna get to showcase hopefully what Cross always wanted the Final Testament to be, and obviously the Wyatts that are really starting to come out of that warming up period and starting to kind of ease into it, and it just feels a little bit more natural and a little bit more scary now, I think. So yeah, I'm all for it. Chuck them in a War Games match. Like the rings are there, the cage is there. Just throw 3 on and then give us a couple of matches. I'm all for that.
You know what? This is the thing, right? I make beats. He also mentioned it. I can't put it on the comments, but because of one word, I don't know. YouTube is whack, but I don't think it's a bad word just to say. Let you know. But you notice that Cross is better than people have given him credit for. Into what you just said, I think Cross's idea of a character in the faction is a lot more sharper than what WWE may position and maybe somewhat neuter it to be, right? Where they're like, oh, like sometimes, like I said, a darker lore type of character or a group. I don't even think they're supposed to be a dark lore type of group. They're not supposed to be spooky. He's a mastermind. He sees the greater good in doing it in a different type of avenue, and that's what his character is. And that's what he told the Miz, and now Miz bought into it, and now they're that's similar to what Miz does as a snarny heel, and this is needed for the Miz
because he was stuck.
Because we forget about Final Testament. We was talking about the tag team champions after Mania as being some of the worst like champs on the whole roster, and Miz had a lot of funk, tied to him with the whole Awesome Truth stuff post Mania. This adds him to a different story, a different element, and I think it's real interesting because it's going to show more of a range of what Miz can do as a character. So I'm here for it, man. They got my interest, and like I said, I feel like there's more to it. You got any words on that, Chaos, about the thing?
No, I was just gonna say, like I think I said it before in the previous daily with you guys, is that I'm glad that the Final Testament have stopped this spooky cryptic message thing, because that was the same thing with Judgment Day when they first were formed, when they started doing the spooky, lights on, lights off, all this teleportation crap. It just looked all hokey and stuff, and then see that they moved away from that. They were one of the biggest factions. Now obviously Final Testament is doing that. No more tarot cards, none of that, just mind games. And Karrion Kross is a great manipulator, and I thought this Miz thing was gonna suck. I ain't gonna lie, when it first happened, but they've turned it around, and this is one of them things where you're just like, wait, let them cook, just let them cook. And look what happened. So I'm all here for it, man. I'm all here for it. Final Testament is here. That's all I can say.
Hey, man, we came a long way, y'all. We came a long way, but we are here. But man, let's talk about the last topic, because we had a main event amongst main events, and this is another gentleman that I will not lie to you. At a few months ago, maybe better half of 6 months ago, I was worried about where his place was going to be in the WWE main roster, Mr. Bronson Reed. From where we are from there to where we are from now, he may get the most improved player award, because this dude is a main stage factor on Monday Night Raw. Him and Seth have the rematch. We saw what happened last Friday on SmackDown. He helped out a couple people with a Bloodline, and they came back and returned the favor. Solo, distracting Seth. Bronson Reed gets the win. We had the original Bloodline kind of try to help even the odds in the beginning with Sammy and the Usos. But the question is this. Thoughts on everything of the match. Who is going to be the last member for the OG Bloodline? Because a lot of it makes it seem like it's Seth Rollins, but a lot of people, Seth says he does not want to work with a tyrant. He called Roman Reigns a tyrant, which is something that you would not want to work with. So I'm, interested to see how y'all feel like the rest of the War Games is going to be built up. We'll start with you, Jordy. What are your thoughts?
I feel like it's probably gonna be Seth, and I like it, and I'll tell you why. Because prior to Bronson Reed as well. This is why I particularly like these two additions. Prior to Bronson Reed being added, we had Solo's Bloodline, who they've got Jacob and Tama and Tonga, but like when you lined them up against the OG Bloodline and what the OG Bloodline did with Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy, and all look like they're kind of singing off the same hymn sheet again. If I was a betting man, the odds would be very much in favour of the OG Bloodline. I think the stats would be like, right, probability is that the OG ones are going to win. When you add in Bronson Reed, who has just been a one-man wrecking ball ever since he initially came and took out Seth and obviously had the feud with Braun Strowman. And aesthetically as well, I just think he looks the part as part of that team. I think he looks great. I'd like to see him added permanently, to be honest, because he makes it so much more threatening. So now you've got Bronson on that side. So you start to go, okay, maybe the OG Bloodline aren't in such a good position. And if Seth ends up being that last person, at any minute Seth and Roman can turn on each other. So I'm like, oh right, I'm not as confident that the OG Bloodline are going to win this match anymore. I really think, like, probability-wise, it might even be swaying back towards the new Bloodline in terms of like who's more likely to win the match, and that's what I want from a wrestling match. I don't want it to be.
Did he freeze?
I think so. I think this is actual. This is actually.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, no, that was actually me that time. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird.
Back.
I got taken out by the Wyatts.
That was so weird. I was like, I thought my connection was messed up. Go ahead.
No, right, yeah. So I can't even remember what I was saying, but yeah, basically, I think now with these two new additions, it's much more even. The ending is much more unpredictable. Is it going to be that Seth turns on Roman? Is it going to be that they'll align and take out the new Bloodline? Is Bronson going to potentially turn on them? I just don't know which way it's going to go down now, and that's what I wanted from this match, because it was starting to look like it was looking a bit heavy on one side. So I'm genuinely happy with where we are now.
Nah, definitely, and I feel you on that. Man, it's difficult because a lot of people, even online, are saying a bit of what this comment is. Obviously, I make B say, I'm guessing Rollins, but I could see Punk if Heyman gets him involved. There's another guy that Heyman could get involved, and I think everybody would hate it. Brock Lesnar.
That again sways it very much towards the that sways it very much towards the OG Bloodline.
People would get so mad if that happened. I can't see Punk in it though. I just can't see Punk in it. I don't know why. It's that take is so like far of a reach. And
it's reach. That's what I'm saying. It's reach.
Yeah.
The comment from Superfly, by the way, I agree. I've been wanting Solo to say I did it for The Rock as a throwback to Rikishi for the whole time ever since him and Roman have had this thing. I agree. I really want to see them do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then we got
somewhere
one
down
of
the line.
We got a comment because I want you. I'm gonna pass it to you after this comment because I want to see what you think about it. Roman was always little bro to Seth. Chaos. We know the history between Roman and Seth. Do you think? Obviously, talk about the match last night. But do you think that Seth can get over this hurdle for the common enemy of Bronson Reed and the OG, the new Bloodline, or is this just a no-go? He got to stand by his word.
Look, if Jay can forgive Jimmy, if Sammy can forgive Jimmy and Jay and Roman, there's a huge chance that Seth can actually forgive all of them, especially Roman in wrestling terms. Yeah, it's a mad one. I kind of wish it never had to go down this route, but all I see is because I think this would have been perfect if it was 4v4. I think we were saying in the GC that like I don't think it needs a fifth person, and it still doesn't. But I feel like the fact that they are adamant to do 5v5, someone's going to screw someone over. At first I was adamant if Seth does join, I think he's the one that's probably going to cost them. But Bronson also has if Solo just goes nuts on Bronson can just tsunami all of them and it's light work and he can just walk out. So but yeah, if anyone is out of all of them has the bigger grudge, it's obviously Seth against Roman. Obviously, we saw what happened in the main event of WrestleMania 40, as well as the mind games that Seth was playing with him. I think was that for the Royal Rumble, when they had the title match before, and he came out in the Shield gear. So yeah, there's obviously that long disdain for each other, especially on Seth's side. So yeah, so someone's gonna turn, and I don't know, and that's the good thing about it. But obviously, you need to keep in mind, all right, what's that got to do? Where does it leave with The Rock and all this kind of stuff? So, I don't know, but yeah, I think it's definitely going to be out of anyone that is more plausible. It's going to be Seth. I got my money on Seth. He's probably just going to ignore Roman for the majority of the match until right at the end. He's probably going to curb stomp him. But yeah, that's why I feel. Either way. Like I said, I want physicality in this. I want bloodshed. Don't just you did it. You had your fun with it during Bad Blood with CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Bring it back for this one. I think if it is a blood feud, make it be literate. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to see. And yeah, I want to see a great story be told. So yeah, that's what I'm here for. So let's get straight to it, shall we?
Look, I'm gonna keep it real with everybody in there, right? Because I saw people talk about Punk yesterday too. If it is not Seth Rollins, they completely just fumble the bag on this match. Not only does it make sense in the storyline with what's going on with Bronson Reed, which has been a very, very good storyline, no matter what anyone says. Them two have been going to war with each other. But the parallel between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins from the Shield days to Royal Rumble a couple years ago, and to what my man Clark Taylor in the comments is even saying, have him come out in the Shield gear again. Yeah. Let him be the Shield. Even to this past Mania, they are brothers at the end of the day, man. They bled in and bled out at the end of the day as the Shield. That is enough of the story that I need for him to be the last member. It's not forced and it's not random. Y'all people complaining about Seth joining it are just, okay, I get it. 4v4 would have been fine, but we're not doing 4v4. It has benefited Bronson Reed because now Bronson Reed is in position in one of the biggest matches in WWE this year in a big-time pay-per-view, and he looks great with Solo's team. Like, aesthetically, he fits the part. And then Seth tied to it. I love it. I love this storyline right now.
I think as well that Seth said something last night, right? Where he said, "I'm not family." That's the difference. I think I think he misspoke there. I don't think that's true. I think he's referred to Roman as his brother many times inside of kayfabe and outside of kayfabe. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I think. I think we might see a scene with Roman and Seth when he says, I was shocked, like something along the lines of like, you said we weren't family, you know we are brothers, like I need your help, like something like that. But one thing that I just want to mention quickly before we end, like, I think it's mad that we're like Seth saying, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it with Roman. It should be Roman that's like, nah, I'm not doing it with Seth. It was Seth that cost him the title at the end of the day at WrestleMania. There was a lot of other stuff, but the Roman and Seth feud, he turned and he hit Seth first, and that was what cost him it. So like, it should be Roman that's saying, no, I'm not having Seth, rather than Seth saying, no, I'm not joining. That's where I think it's a little bit strange, because even if they get Seth to agree, what's Roman going to say?
No, it needs to be Roman making the call. Roman has to make the call to him. Roman's got to be the one to be like, look, bro.
Reach out.
I'm reaching out to you, man.
And that's why I thought,
brother to brother.
Yeah. That's why I thought they were going to do on last week's SmackDown, but it ended up being Heyman, and now that's another thing that's going on. I don't even know what to make of that. But,
yeah, because we got everyone. Somebody in the comments, they're joking around. They said Ryback, and I'm glad it's not this guy, bro. I'm sorry. If it was Cody and KO, I would have been pissed off. I'm gonna be real with you. That would have ruined it for me too. I like it better with Bronson and Seth. So
same.
Needless to say, man, we went a little bit over the time, but it was a jam-packed show. We got Survivor Series coming up. I appreciate all of y'all in the comments. We are back same time on the daily tomorrow. If you ain't got nothing to do tonight, NXT off the air, myself, Clark, and Drizzy will be reviewing NXT 10 minutes after NXT is done. And yeah, man, keep rocking with us. Watch all the episodes and Take It to the Table. Watch all the ranking episodes with Jordy and Ben. And yeah, man, keep supporting Wrestling Republic because we doing some amazing stuff. In the words of Jay Uso, deuces, ooses.
Dude,
you ain't gonna say yeet.